Hi, welcome to CreepGame Assignment 3.03. Here are the requirements. We want to add a sprint stamina meter to the game. Holding down a button will allow the user to run much faster as long as he has stamina remaining. The meter fills up again, but it fills up much more slowly than it drains. And we want to add waypoint authoring to the world editor. These are spheres which can be linked unidirectionally, and we want to be able to save these waypoints to a file so that the game can read them and use them. We also want the game to implement A-star pathfinding using the waypoints, and we need to add pathfinding demo or test code that randomly selects a starting waypoint and an ending waypoint, and then uses the A-star algorithm to find the shortest waypoint path between them. And we must show this path visually using debug spheres and lines. Well, that's going to be quite a lot to do, so let's get started. Okay, let's run the world editor. Okay, let me, I'm going to lock the cursor so that doesn't follow me around. Now I'm going to add a few waypoints. I don't want to lock that cursor. To select waypoints, there we go. So I still get the cursor, I just don't have to have that geometry move. I'm going to add a waypoint in there. I'm going to add a waypoint out here. Point here. Bottom of the stairs. Okay, there's a few waypoints. Okay, looks like we can see them all from here. So I'm going to select waypoints. You see I can move between them, or if I want to I can select a particular one by moving the cursor to it and then hitting the select button here. That'll pick that particular. But I want to show how you link stuff up now. Let me do a mass link. Basically what that will do is we'll put a link between any two waypoints that can actually see each other. In other words, if there's no geometry in between them. So for a lot of waypoints, that's an easy way to go, but sometimes it's not appropriate, because if we had, let's say we had a point down here and had a waypoint up here. Okay, now if we did mass link, it would join those with a double link, and we don't want that. Let me show you why. Do a mass link, and now you see there's a link going in both directions to that waypoint, even though we really can't travel upwards. So what we're going to have to do is select that waypoint down there, our cursor up to this one, and we're going to have to get rid of one of those two links. So what we can do is say unlink 1, link 2, that gets rid of both of them. We want those to link 2, I believe. So that what that does is it has a link from the one up here to the one down there, because there is a path from high to low, but there's no path from low to high. So that's how we can modify any particular set of links. Let's exit this and back in real quick. So now what I want to do is actually load the waypoints that we've developed previously. We're in a file called pathing.bin. So here's all the waypoints that we actually settled on for our game. Just wanted to show you the location. Okay, let's get out of here and actually get into the game and see what we can do. Okay, first off, notice this 100 here. That's our stamina meter. It's now the 100%. And if I were to try and score against the enemy, I'd go up here, sneak up on his enemy base. By pressing the E key, I'll be able to run, but I'm going to wait until I get the flag. Okay, now I've got the flag, and now I'm going to run. Okay, notice my stamina meter's going down. I'm moving much faster. And go. I've scored. My stamina meter's almost was completely emptied out, and you'll notice it fills up a lot slower than it drained down when I was running. So this is my normal speed. Here's my run speed. Much better. Okay, so that's the stamina meter that we need to add to the game. Oh, let's check out the pathfinding. What I'm going to do here is fly straight up, basically, through the top of the building. I'm going to keep going a little bit. I want to be able to look down on everything. Okay, that's probably good enough. Now what I'm going to do is turn on the wireframe mode so I can see in there. And I have a key, the T key, which will basically show all my debug spheres for the waypoints, and it'll put lines between them. So what you're seeing here is all of the waypoints are in green, but this red waypoint and this white waypoint were selected as the start and end waypoints, and then it drew the shortest waypoint path between those two. And then when I press T again, it will swap the red and the white and then find the shortest path again. Now sometimes, for example, when we're on a ledge, the path from one to the other will be different than the path of the end, start and end reversed, because you can't go upwards on some of the to another node necessarily. So let me hit T again and we'll see. Okay, so you see it was exactly the same path. I'll hit T again and we'll choose two more totally at random. There's one and there's one. And now notice this one is going to involve a ledge. So I'm guessing it starts on the white one. It's going to go down here to that one. So now when we go the other way around, you'll see it has to actually go back up the stairs to get to the other one. So we chose a totally different path to get back up there. So here's the red one. Now what I've also done, I'm going to go a little higher up. So I created a demo mode which basically tests all possible paths. And what it does is it selects one point and then as the begin point, and then it selects every other sphere as an endpoint and finds the path to them. And as it moves through, as it uses a waypoint in its path, it makes it slightly larger. So we get a feel for which are the major highways in a sense on this. So let me press the K key. So they all start really small, and we're starting with that one particular one, and we're trying every single possible path, and then I believe we're reversing them too. And I'm going to use the debug menu, speed that up a little bit. I can have a pathing delay here, so I'm going to cut that down a little bit. So we'll go, let's say, twice as fast. It's about twice as fast. So notice some of the spheres are larger than others. That's because they're being used more often in all these different routes that can possibly be taken. I'm going to speed it up even a little bit more. Okay, now it's going pretty fast. It's becoming more evident that some of the spheres are more useful than the others. Commonly used, I guess I should say. I'm going to go speed it up just a little bit more. It's going to go really fast. You get the idea. I'm going to speed it all the way up now. That's as fast as it can go. Okay, now it's done. So let's fly back down there. Turn the geometry back on. Getting out of wireframe mode. Let's look at these spheres. So you can see that sphere there was used quite a bit, whereas whereas say that sphere there was used very little. There were very few paths that actually needed to go through that particular sphere. Anyhow, that was the example of our test code for all of the A-star pathing. And that's the conclusion of my overview for CreepGame Assignment 3.03. Thank you and goodbye.